New York down by 8 as we go into the fourth, and when we spoke to Jeff Van Gundy yesterday, he said, we know there are 5 things we can control. And these are the 5 things. Fast break points, the Knicks are +5. Second chance points, none for the Spurs. They're winning the battle of the bench. 3-point shooting basically even. The difference really has been the fouls and the free throws. So New York is in pretty good shape right now, Bob. Down 8, and they had a 26-point third quarter, so their offense is back on track right now.
Jaren Jackson with it, but not for long. Kurt Thomas cuts in front of Tim Duncan for the steal. Fourth quarter opens on a good note for the Knicks. Sprewell cross court to Larry Johnson. Up top, Charlie Ward. Now it's Houston for 3. Rebound fought for, out of bounds. And touched last by Thomas of the Knicks. The report on Marcus Camby from Jim Gray over by the New York bench. Left knee contusion. He will be back.
Well, that would have been a big shot by Allen Houston. That would have made it a 5-point game.
Steve Kerr lobbing for Duncan. 2 defenders on him. Cross court to Elliott. His 3, no good. Bounces up, hits the shot clock. New York ball.
I expect New York to be much more aggressive defensively in the double teams in this fourth quarter. It might be that they were saving their double teams to get into the fourth quarter to force them to shoot the ball from the perimeter. You saw the quick double team that time. New York, a very small team on the floor. No Dudley, can be hurt, and Larry Johnson right now is still a little bit gimpy, but a very small team for New York. Quickness, speed, they want to penetrate and make shots.
Charlie Ward turns and asks for a timeout. Chris Dudley was at the scorer's table getting ready to check in, so he'll be in the New York lineup when play resumes. 10:52 to play in the fourth. Spurs by 8.
The reason Jeff Van Gundy took that timeout is you're going to see Larry Johnson here on this play. He gets that right leg extend, and remember, he had the brace taken off in that first half, so he looks like he hyperextends that leg a little bit, the one that was so sore coming into this game. Jeff Van Gundy took the timeout to talk to him. Get one more look here. You see it's the right leg. You can just see he overextends it just a little bit. Nothing serious, but when it's that sore, and you see Larry Johnson now sitting on the bench, and again, he took that brace off, which makes him more susceptible to re-injuring that leg.
Johnson has played 17 minutes tonight. He scored 5 points, taken 1 rebound. Houston was fouled as we go to Jim Gray.
All right, Bob, the report from Mike Saunders, the Knicks trainer, is Larry Johnson tweaked his knee a little bit, twisted it slightly. He refused any treatment, any ice. He wants to return to the game and probably will. Bob?
Jim thanks again. The foul on Jaren Jackson was his 4th. Johnson watches his teammate Houston go to the line and hit the first. Allen's wife Tammy gave birth to a baby girl this week, little Remy.
I was kidding Allen before the game. I said, Allen, you'll go to any cost to be able to get out of a practice. I said, you tell your coach you'll get a big game in Game 6. He had 32. They eliminate Indiana. His wife goes into labor on Saturday. He misses practice. I said, you'll do anything, but congratulations to Allen and his beautiful wife.
And he brings them to within 6. Ellie out of the backcourt with a toss to Kerr. Jackson looking inside from Malik Rose. He's covered, so Jackson takes a wild off-balance 3. And that's the kind of season and playoff run it's been for San Antonio.
I just watched Jeff Van Gundy. The look on his face said it all. He could not believe that shot went in the basket.
Six on the shot clock. Childs holding it. They've got to get something away. It's Childs over Kerr. And the rebound taken by Ellie.
Bob, that could be a critical play as New York tries to get back into this game. They score here, and it goes from 6 to 11 very quickly to thwart that rally.
Jaren Jackson drives around Sprewell and loses it. Man, that shot he hit a moment ago was ridiculous.
Reminiscent of Sean Elliott falling out of bounds, keeping his feet in bounds as he took that shot.
Here's Allen Houston spinning. Left hand. Missed it badly. Rebounded Duncan. Mario Elie on the wing to Jackson. His three is short. Elie trying to save it, but into the hands of Sprewell. Trailing the play is Childs, and he connects.
You know, Sprewell is one of those guys you play with. He's bringing so much energy. He almost drags you along with him. If you're going to play, you better run.
You're pulled in on his vapor trail.
Absolutely. He just drags you along.
Steve Kerr out high. Into the lane. His shot is blocked. Camby got a hand on it. It squirts out of bounds, and the Knicks will have it. Greg Popovich trusts his bench here. In the fourth quarter, he has three reserves in. Jackson, Elie, and Kerr.
Well, he's going to come back with David Robinson right now. He does not want any more to be whittled off this lead. It's a 7-point game right now, so he'll come back in. David Robinson for Rose.
I misspoke. Jackson, Rose, and Kerr. Elie, of course, one of their starters.
David cannot get in. He was not at the scorer's table, so he'll have to wait a possession. Let's see if New York can take advantage of that, maybe get to the basket.
Sprewell finding Camby. Little touch pass over to Thomas, and a foul. That's 4 on Malik Rose.
You see more teams doing this now. Out of the double team, Bob, they cut a man right to the basket, and they just sort of lob the ball up. He goes and gets it, and he's either a passer or he drops that ball off. This time he got the foul.
Misses the first tonight. When the ball game is over, the late night action begins. First, the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Among the guests, Dennis Rodman. Then it's Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Conan has ER's Noah Weiler. The Tonight Show and Late Night with Conan O'Brien coming up on NBC. Childs reaching in and fouling Mario Elie. That's number 2 on Chris, who was in the Spurs training camp back in '93. He was cut by John Lucas.
San Antonio must go back inside to Robinson and Duncan. You've got Camby and Thomas in the game. You've got to go with what worked for you in the first half. That's the 2 big guys inside.
Jaren Jackson surrounded. Knicks putting the pressure on, and Jackson asks for a timeout. It'll be a 20. Well, they first signal for a 20. It turns into a full timeout. You know what we do then. Please watch these commercial messages.
Well, Jaren Jackson has done a nice job off the bench tonight for the Spurs. Hit some timely shots. We saw this early in the first few rounds. The jumper to beat the shot clock. You can hear it in the background. The inside-outside, now the double team. The three-point jumper, and then this desperation shot where he just muscles it into the basket. And interestingly enough, when they were having their inter-squad scrimmages, Popovich said, we want you to act like Allen Houston. Well, tonight he's doing that, making some critical shots.
Inbound pass comes to Robinson, who scored only 1 point in the second half. He puts it on the floor and draws the foul.
Now, the Knick game plan has been, during the playoffs, stick around, especially on the road, and let's see if we can win this game at the end. They're there. It's a 6-point game. More importantly, Bob, after 20 first-half free throws for San Antonio, only 3 in the second half. The Knicks have kept them off the foul line.
Camby just picked up his 5th. He sits. Johnson comes back in. Tim Duncan gives it up to Jackson. Jaren Jackson.
Right on time.
Man. He has just been huge throughout this playoff run for the San Antonio Spurs.